Hello everybody. So I am starting this video to kind of do a little series that I've been wanting to do for a while of how to start crocheting. So this video is going to be like what you need to get at the store, and then we're going to kind of go into how to start, what all the stitches are, and we're going to do like a beginner project together. First things first is yarn. And there's going to be a lot of options at the store and it can kind of get overwhelming. So at least for the project that we're going to do, we're going to use weight 4, which is pretty common, and you can tell what weight it is on the label. So right here it says medium 4, and then it also tells you what size crochet hook you want and knitting needles. We're not knitting, so just look at this. So this recommends a 5mm hook for a size 4 yarn. That is important to look at though, because like on this yarn, it is still weight 4, but this one recommends a 6mm crochet hook because it's slightly thicker. And then this ombre yarn is what I'm going to use for our beginner project, which is actually going to be a scarf. So this one is also weight 4 and recommends a 5mm hook. So once we get into tension and everything, you might change that based on you, but I just go based off of the label, especially for right now. Now you'll also see thicker yarn. Sorry about my dog hair. I obviously haven't used this. This one is not available in store as far as I know, Will and the Gang. It's a great company, but not in store. So I'm just gonna take this label off. You'll also see like thick yarns like this one. Sorry about the dog hair on this. Here's the label. I took it off. This specific brand is not available in store, but this type of yarn is. This one is 100% wool, and it recommends a 12mm hook. And so this is a chunkier weight, like 5 or 6. And again, it'll tell you what you need right on the label. So this kind of yarn, this is fun for later. We're not using this right now. We are using one of these. So Big Twist is Joann's yarn, and I really like it. So this is acrylic. Acrylic is going to be cheaper. If you prefer natural fibers, starting out, I would use cotton because that is a little bit on the cheaper end. I wouldn't go with wool or anything to start out. But if you don't want to use acrylic, use cotton. And then another thing that I really like about Big Twist especially is that it has all this info here. And then if you turn it a little bit more, it tells you, this is a skein, it tells you how many skeins you need for a project. So this is saying you need 4 for a blanket, 3 for a sweater, 1 for a hat, 1 for a scarf. So this yarn would be a good choice for the beginner scarf. Next thing we're looking at is hooks. Hooks stressed me out at the beginning. So there's a bunch of different kinds, but we're gonna talk about the sizes. So really, these two are my favorites. The blue one, it doesn't say it's super clear. The blue one is a 5, and then my black one is a 5.5. This is clover. This is like basically clover, but I bought it at some random store. And then those are a little bit expensive because they're clover, and they're made out of, I don't know what, but it's really smooth. So eventually I recommend, but for now it's okay. They also are gonna have these aluminum hooks. This one is a 5.25. But they sell them in all of the sizes, and they're decently priced. They're like, I'm pretty sure under $3. And the yarn that I was holding up, the Big Twist yarn, is, I believe, $4.49 full price, but at Joann's you're almost never paying full price. So between the yarn and the hook, we're at like $7, $8 to start. So metal hook, and then they also are gonna have these like plastic hooks. I don't think plastic is sold individually as much as metal. So you could get a set of the plastic ones for not that much, and that's fine. I don't love how the plastic hooks work on yarn. So if I was gonna pick a cheap starter hook, I personally would get the aluminum hooks. And then I just wanted to kind of show, as the hooks get bigger, they might start looking different. So like this 5 from Clover is some kind of aluminum, but then this 8 from Clover is some kind of plastic. But it's not the same as like this resiny plastic, so it goes a little bit smoother. Personally, I have the Clover hooks in all the sizes. I've gotten them as I did projects. And then you'll also see these metal hooks for micro crochet. They're super little. I don't use those very often. So you're gonna need this hook and this yarn so far. Then you're gonna need a needle. So like this one is huge. I've never used that. And then I've used this one. This one's made out of plastic. It has kind of a big hole right here for like thicker yarn. This one's more of like a normal yarn size plastic needle. And then personally, I really like the little metal ones called tapestry needles. To me, these just go in the easiest. And so you're gonna use that to secure your ends at the end of really anything you do. Instead of tying it off, because this has a better chance of not coming apart. You're gonna need scissors. They do sell like fancy yarn scissors. These are sewing scissors. They work the same. And then these little stitch markers, I don't really use them anymore, but I do think that they're really, really helpful at the beginning. So they look like this. They're like little plastic safety pins, which if you have a ton of safety pins, you could use those also. And they just kind of click together. And this is gonna help us be able to see stitches when we are crocheting. So your shopping list when you go to the store is for our beginner scarf, assuming that that's what we're shopping for, 1 skein of weight forward yarn, a matching hook that matches the hook size on the back, and they all say it on here. So like this one's 5.25 like I said. So you need a hook, yarn, you need a tapestry needle. These are probably $1 or $2 depending on the size of the pack that you get. You need scissors. Those obviously really vary in price. And you need like a couple stitch markers. Don't get too many. Don't go crazy. You just need a few. So yeah, we're looking at like $10, $15 depending on the material that you pick to start this hobby.